Good morning. Welcome back to our Tuesday training series. My name is Larry Wilson. I'm with Secure Insurance Group, and we're going to go over Medicare basics. And on the screen there, you can see the topics. We'll cover eligibility for Medicare, some of the penalties, Medicare supplements versus Medicare Advantage plans. We're going to focus on the supplements today, so we'll get into a sample of how to quote Medicare supplements on our website. Just a little background. Again, my name is Larry Wilson. I've been in the Medicare industry. This is the start of my 20th year, and been with Secure Insurance Group for about 3 years. Long relationship with the whole group here, and looking forward to helping everyone get started or get a little more education on Medicare. So let's dive right in. With Original Medicare, one of the first questions that comes up is, how do you become eligible? When do you become eligible? There's basically 4 different ways to qualify for Medicare. The most common and preferred way is just basically turning 65, making it to your 65th birthday. You'll then be eligible for Medicare Parts A and B. Second way is if you're on Social Security disability, not disability from work, but actual Social Security disability. Typically in the 25th month after your first payment from Social Security disability, you will then become eligible for Medicare. If you work past age 65 and stay on your group coverage, then of course when you retire or leave the company, come off your group coverage, you'd be eligible for Medicare at that point. And the least favorable way is if you develop end-stage renal disease, you're typically eligible for Medicare 3 to 4 months after that diagnosis. Let's take a look at the parts of Medicare. That's one of the first things to know is Medicare breaks down into 2 parts, Part A and Part B. Part A covers inpatient services, which could be a hospital or skilled nursing facility. Don't confuse that with nursing home, palliative care, but it's just a skilled nursing facility for rehab or that type thing. Part A is going to be at no cost to the client, the consumer, as long as you or your spouse have worked 40 quarters in your lifetime and paid into FICA taxes. If you've worked less than 40 quarters, then you will have some premium payments for the Part A. Medicare Part B covers medical services. We'll most commonly think of that as doctors, labs, x-rays. There are some drugs that have to be administered by healthcare professionals, such as chemotherapy, that will also fall under Part B. Now, Part B is totally the consumer's responsibility, and there are some caveats to that we can get into a little bit later. But a standard premium for Part B is going to be $148.50. Someone that has a much higher income will pay more. But then if your income is low enough, there's some Medicare savings programs that may take care of that Part B premium for you. Or if the client is on Medicaid, the state will pay it for them. But the standard premium is $148.50 per month for 2021. Then there's Medicare Part D. A lot of people like to think of Part D as drugs. It just happened to be the next letter in the alphabet, but it is the prescription coverage. It's done by private companies, so the premiums can vary from plan to plan. You may have very low premiums for a plan if you have a lesser drug list, but can go up in cost if you have a higher drug list and you want a little better coverage. One thing that catches a lot of people is the penalties that are involved with Medicare. There is a penalty for Medicare Part B if you don't sign up when you first become eligible. When you turn 65 or come off your group coverage, if you wait to sign up for Medicare Part B, there is a penalty. The penalty is 10% for each 12-month period that you were eligible for Part B but did not have it. Now, someone who's going to continue working and is on group coverage would be exempt from that penalty as long as they maintain that group coverage and sign up immediately after they forfeit the group coverage. The Part D premium penalty works a little bit differently. It's 1% for each month that you were eligible for Part D but did not have it. One very important thing to remember is the penalty is permanent. So if you go a year without coverage, it's not a 1-year penalty. You go a year without the coverage, you get a penalty, and that penalty is for lifetime. When it comes down to signing up for Part D and also for the Medicare Advantage plans, it's very important to know the election periods. The initial election period would be when you first become eligible for Medicare, say turning 65. Then there's an annual election period, which historically has always run from October 15th to December 7th. Don't see that changing anytime soon. And that's when you have the option to change from one company or one plan to another plan, no health questions, and that plan will go into effect January 1 for the following year. And then there are special election periods, which can be for a range of reasons. One being I just came off of my group coverage, or I just qualified for extra help or Medicaid. We had some special election periods for natural disasters, COVID, those types of things. Those are very specialized and will only apply in certain situations. Now today we're going to talk about keeping original Medicare and going to a Medicare supplement to help cover the gaps in Medicare. There'll be a video out next week that will cover more details about the Medicare Advantage plans. But right now let's focus on the Medicare supplements. So that would be going to the left side of our little fork in the road here. It's important to know this is either or. You get asked all the time, can I have both? No, you cannot. That's completely against the rules with Medicare. So we'll look at, like I say, the left side, staying with original Medicare and getting a Medicare supplement. So you would still have Medicare, original Medicare Part A and Part B. It will be your primary insurance. They pay first. But Medicare has deductibles and copays just like any other insurance or group insurance. So then you can purchase a Medicare supplement plan, or sometimes called a Medigap plan, that would pay the difference or pay the parts that Medicare leaves to your responsibility. You still don't have any drug coverage, so you would purchase a Part D prescription drug coverage plan separately. So you would have, in this scenario, one way we like to describe it is you have 3 cards. You have your Medicare card, you have your Medicare supplement card, and then you have your prescription drug card. They're 3 separate things. Okay, the Medicare supplement plans are done by private insurance companies, and it's important to know that whatever plan you're looking at, Medicare breaks down into Part A and Part B. The plans are going to break down into letters also, makes it nice and confusing. But if you have a Plan G, which is what we recommend most often, if you have a Plan G, they're standardized by Medicare and they're all identical. They pay exactly the same. One G is not any better than the next G, but it's so it becomes very price driven, and then a couple other factors. So let's take a look at how to run a quote for a Medicare supplement. Just go to our website here at secureig.com, and if you go up here to the top toolbar and click on Quote Engine, it will take you into the quote engine. It takes just a moment to load. And then right here on Medicare Supplement, click Run Quote. And we're just going to put in, I'm going to put in the zip code here at the office. And we're going to say that we're running someone who's just turning 65, just coming on Medicare. So it's a 65-year-old female. I want to say it's non-tobacco, they're not a smoker. And we're going to run a quote for the Plan G and an effective date of February 1st of 2021. Now, one other thing here is the household discount. Every company's gonna have a little bit different qualifications for the household discount. Some are just if you have someone over 18 who's lived with you for 12 months. Some are if you are married. And some companies you have to be married, but both spouses on the exact same plan with that company. So just be very aware of the differences. We've all gotten caught, thinking, oh yeah, they get the household discount, and they're actually not meeting all of the requirements. So we have all of our information in there. Click on Get Quote, and it will run the quote here, and our engine is designed to rank them in order of price. So right here in Springfield, Missouri, for 65-year-old female, the best price is going to be for AARP, of course through United Healthcare, at $118.50 a month. Now, they're giving, you can see the household discount right here. They're getting a 5% discount on the household discount. They are a company that both husband and wife have to be on the plan to get the discount. Now, you can scroll down and you can see it goes from $118 a month. And if you go all the way to the bottom, we're getting up to $230 a month. And again, a G plan, a G is a G is a G. They're all identical. So not a lot of need to put someone with a company that's much higher. But one thing we'll point out, if you come over here and click on Market Analytics, it'll give you a little bit of history about the company, or their product. First off, here is the increase history that they've had over the last couple of years. In 2020, they actually went down in premiums by 5.9%, and then in 2019 they went down 20%. They took a big rate decrease to bring in more business. One important thing is to look over here. They have $10 billion in premium. They're a huge company, tons of clients, so they're going to be very stable. And another thing we like to look at is the loss ratio. If their loss ratio is fairly low, then their business is stable, and you might not expect a big rate increase coming anytime soon. If we scroll down, I looked through before we got on the video, and there was a company, their loss ratio is at 95%. That's kind of a little bit of a red flag that they're going to need to have a pretty significant rate increase in the near future. Here's Puritan Life at 94%. They're not cutting very much of a profit, so you would expect a pretty good rate increase to come along in the near future. So other than price, that's one thing that might factor into your decision of which company to go to. And then also, knowing the payment structure of each company. But that's just a quick rundown of how to run a quote. And if you have any kind of questions, of course, you can feel free to get in touch with us or get in touch directly with me. Again, my name's Larry Wilson, and feel free to reach out to me by email at larry.wilson@secureig.com, or give us a call here, 417-883-9300, and we'll be happy to help you out in any way we can. I want to point out, as we said there, once you get on Medicare, you can go either to stay on original Medicare with a Medicare supplement, or go to the Advantage plan. And by no small coincidence, next week's training video will be on Medicare Advantage plans, taking a deeper dive into those. They are not standardized, so there's a lot more detail there. Is something you're really going to want to tune into. So I really want to thank you for being a part of Secure Insurance Group and watching our video. Anything we can do to improve or help you out, answer any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.